Hello, my name is Ruby. What you are about to hear is what I lived through when I was 25 years old. That night, I went to Gavin's house with my best friend Alexa and her boyfriend. I had only known Gavin for a short time. He lived alone in a large mansion in the quiet suburbs. From the outside, the house looked elegant and peaceful, but the moment I stepped inside, I felt a strange pressure in my chest. Gavin was tall, about 1.70 meters. He had neatly combed black hair and wore an old-fashioned outfit. A white long-sleeved shirt with a red bow tie and dark trousers. He looked polite, calm, and perfectly controlled, as if nothing in the world could surprise him. We drank wine and talked for a while. The house was too quiet for such a large place. Every sound echoed softly against the walls. Later, Alexa and her boyfriend excused themselves and went into another room to be alone. That was when the atmosphere changed. Gavin stopped smiling. He stared at me without blinking. His eyes felt heavy, as if they were pressing into my skin. He told me that we should begin our love together. His voice was soft, but it carried something sharp underneath. I told him I was not ready for a serious relationship. The moment I refused him, his expression shifted. The warmth vanished and something cold replaced it. He suggested that we play hide and seek instead. I felt confused and uncomfortable, but I agreed because I wanted to break the awkward silence and I did not want to offend him. I entered one of the guest rooms. From somewhere far away, I heard his voice telling me that I had 20 minutes, and if he found me within that time, I would belong to him. I tried to laugh it off as a joke, even though my heart was already beating faster. I crawled under the bed and held my breath while smiling nervously to myself. A few minutes passed and then I heard something shatter outside the room. Glass or wood breaking. At first, I thought he had knocked something over by accident. Then I heard it again, louder, closer. My stomach tightened, but I decided to stay hidden. I did not want to seem dramatic. From the hallway, his voice drifted toward me. He said that I should hide well because otherwise the game would not be fun. Something heavy slammed into a wall. The sound traveled through the floor and into my bones. It was still supposed to be a game, yet fear began to creep into my thoughts like cold water. I was about to crawl out and leave when suddenly something struck the door. The impact was so violent that the whole room shook. I nearly screamed but clamped my hand over my mouth. The door opened and Gavin stepped inside. He was breathing hard. In his hands was a massive hammer. The sight of it made my vision blur. My body started trembling uncontrollably. I kept asking myself if he was joking, if this was some twisted prank. Then he lifted the hammer and smashed it into the wardrobe. The crash was deafening. The doors burst open. He laughed softly and said that I was not there and that it would have been a shame if he had hit me because he was a good shot. At that moment, I knew something was terribly wrong. This was not a game. He was insane. He walked slowly around the room, dragging the hammer along the floor. Each step felt like it landed inside my chest. From under the bed, I watched his shadow move closer. He stopped right in front of me. I felt like my lungs had stopped working. Then he inhaled deeply and said that he could hear my heartbeat from where he stood. He ripped the mattress off the bed and threw it aside. Then he raised the hammer and slammed it down onto the bed frame. Wood exploded into splinters. The hammer struck the floor just inches from my face. He shouted and stared directly at me through the broken frame, asking if he had missed. I screamed and crawled out with every ounce of strength I had. I ran into the hallway as fast as I could. Gavin chased me with the hammer raised high. I ran down the corridor, slipped on the stairs, and nearly fell. I could hear his footsteps right behind me. My heart felt like it would tear itself apart. Suddenly a timer rang. The sound echoed through the house. Gavin froze. He looked at his wristwatch and calmly said that time was up. He stood there breathing heavily and then asked if we should play another round because his house had many good hiding places. I was shaking so badly I could barely speak. I told him I had to go home. He tried to hold me back. I broke free, ran to my car and started the engine. As I drove away, I heard his voice calling after me, begging for just one more game, saying that he truly wanted me. I drove straight to the police station. When the police arrived at his house, they discovered something horrific. Alexa and her boyfriend were dead. Their bodies were found pressed close together, as if they had tried to protect each other. The house was soaked in silence and blood. Gavin was nowhere to be seen. While the officers searched the mansion, they found him hiding inside a wardrobe. He burst out screaming and swung the hammer at them. Several officers were badly injured. In the end, the police shot Gavin and he died on the spot. To this day, I still hear the sound of that timer in my dreams. I still feel the weight of his gaze in the dark. And every time I hear someone call a game just for fun, my heart begins to race because I know how thin the line is between play and death.